So we're going to go ahead and get started. Can everybody hear me okay? Okay, good. I know at city council meetings you have to be like this or no one can hear you. So if you do this. All right, so we'll get started. Welcome to the 2021 State of GEUS. I'm very happy to see all your faces finally and be able to get together in a single room. For any employees that are new to GEUS, I just want to say congratulations, you've joined the greatest team on earth. We've accomplished great things in the last year. Most of the data I cover will be for fiscal year 2020, which actually runs from October 1st of 2019 through September 30th of 2020. So the information's a little dated, but you know, the goal is to have these earlier around March or April timeframe. But the last few years we've been thrown some curveballs and we've been able to continue on and get it done. But welcome this morning. We're celebrating 130 years this year. So GEUS was formed in 1891. And in honor of that, I just want to play a video, and I'd like to say quick, but it's about 6 minutes long. But it really tells the story of public power and how that launched back in the early the late 1800s and early 1900s, and it actually talks about how GEUS fits into that. So I'm going to play that. How do I click on that? I need somebody who can run this thing. Oh. I got to click on my logo.
Okay, hang on. I got the mouse.
Okay. We're going to make this work.
You have to click here?
Yeah. Upload blocked. Sign in. Are we linked?
Is it the public power video that
It's,
We can get it off of YouTube.
okay.
Can we not do it just off of the slideshow?
I had it linked. Yeah, right there. We're gonna do it.
We are going on a family vacation. Everybody is so excited for this. And you don't know how oh, it's Facebook.
Okay.
As Texas entered the 20th century, electricity powered the growth of major cities. But in rural Texas,
Greenville.
families still cook their meals over wood or coal fires and lit their home with oil lamps, much like they had for the past 100 years. That was about to change.
The advent of electricity in Texas fundamentally changed the lives of people overnight.
Public power has had a critical role to play in bringing electricity to Texas in the first place. Back before there was electricity, we were an extremely rural state, and it was expensive to bring power to Texas.
The municipalities said, no, we need to give all of our citizens the advantages of having power, and they took it upon themselves to do it. The elected officials and the
Greenville.
citizens of that town ran no outside corporations. So it speaks to the pioneer spirit of Texas, that small municipalities who weren't going to get power put their destiny in their own hands.
Greenville.
So in 1891, you had one small town, Greenville, Texas, which created its own publicly owned utility.
Greenville.
Today in Texas, you have 72. That same spirit pervaded the state.
Energy is the lifeblood of the community. When you're a municipally owned utility, you are part of the community. We are neighbors.
For the public power folks, there's a sense of being part of their communities that I think even adds to that feeling of we got an important job to do here that matters to people, and that sense of mission is really strong as you work with the people in public power.
we serve in this community. We want to support not only the energy needs, but we support economic development, we support education, and in general believe that it's important for us to be a business owned by the community.
We have small town values where neighbors help neighbors, neighbors look out for each other, and neighbors invest in each other to make sure that we're all helping each other be the best that we can be.
Bluebell Creameries has been in business in Rome, Texas since 1907. This facility was built in 1970 with the hopes that we would grow. As that happened, you need more power, and our local provider has been so consistent and so reliable that it's been critical to our success.
And it's these long-term partnerships between public power providers and private industry that are the foundation of a vibrant local economy.
In the early 1920s is when we opened the first shop, which was the Dodge soda business, and then years later, in 1935, we opened the doors with Capital Chevrolet. And so Austin Energy has obviously been a huge partner with us the whole entire time that we've been in business.
You know, now we see a city as large as San Antonio with a public power entity, down to some of the smallest towns in Texas are supported by public power. And from ERCOT's perspective, those public power utilities have been fully integrated into our systems from the very beginning. They play a critical role in providing transmission services, distribution services, generation, all the things that are needed to provide customer service to electric customers in Texas.
We generate power. We have a very diversified portfolio of generation types. We transmit power in the transmission business. We have a distribution system. We handle all of the delivery to every customer, business, school, and then we actually take care of customers through our retail operations. We cover all of San Antonio, and about 15% of our capacity goes out to the ERCOT market. And so we not only create stability for San Antonio, we help contribute to the stability of Texas.
I think the biggest difference in a municipal utility is that our decisions are made locally. We can take care of people and understand their local needs and respond accordingly.
And people have an input, not only in terms of who governs, but in terms of what they think a municipal utility should be doing to further invest in the community.
And it's that local voice that leads to innovation at the state and national level.
Austin Energy obviously does listen to the people here in their community. It's zoned in on electric vehicles and being more energy efficient, whether it's your car, home, or wherever you are.
Having our own electric utility allows us to be more creative, allows us to be more responsive to our community.
You know, not only do we have to invest in the hardware, we have to invest in the human value. It's very important to us to know that the community that we serve is proud of what we do.
We've seen a lot of development of new generation supported by power purchase agreements with public power entities. As we add things like battery energy storage and other forms of storage onto the system that are both demand and supply on the system. And I think you see public power involved in looking at, experimenting with, trying all those new sorts of technologies.
That's the real Texas spirit. What are we going to do to improve our own lives, not depending on anyone else but Texas?
For over a century, municipally owned utilities have powered Texas communities and enhanced standards of living.
So now I need to
Public power utilities take pride in the community ownership model, reinvesting not only in the local electric system, but in shaping communities and improving quality of life through safely delivered, reliable, affordable energy supplies. Today, municipally owned utilities serve over 5 million Texans across 72 cities. TPPA members are energized for the future, embracing new technology and innovations while honoring the commitment of long-term, reliable, affordable electricity. Texas Public Power, powering strong communities.
So, I think that gives a really good overview of public power and helps tell our story of how we started and how we got to where we are today. So I haven't introduced myself yet. I know most of you, but I'm Alicia Hooks and have been honored to serve as General Manager of GEUS for the last few years since 2018. We've also have here with us our board chairman, Glover George. Do you want to stand up and say hello?
Good morning.
You need a microphone?
No, ma'am.
Okay. All right, so happy to be here today and share with you our results and what we're here to do, some things we're doing here locally, and what we see for the future. So I wanted to start with our mission statement. This was set by the board several years ago, but I think it's still important today. And that's to maintain competitive rates, increase system reliability, and improve services. Pretty broad. But then we have a set of goals that the board formed to support that mission. And that's to ensure low rates and innovative rate structures, provide reliable service through the utilization of advanced technology, meet or exceed environmental requirements, lead in energy management and marketing, maintain a highly trained and productive workforce, place emphasis on measuring and rewarding performance, and remain a customer community-focused organization, place emphasis on economic development in the community, provide utility leadership at the state and national levels, and win recognition as an outstanding utility. And I feel like we can go through that list and check many of those things off, pretty much all of those things off, in the efforts that we do day to day to fulfill these goals. So we'll walk through this information. We'll start with financial health. We'll look at customer sales and statistics, rate comparison, reliability and safety, workforce, accomplishments, future projects. We're going to get an update on our community powered program, and then we will have our employee awards and recognition. The most exciting part we save for the last. So our debt service coverage in fiscal year 2020 looked really good. We were beyond the 2.5 times target, and that is how much cash we have to be able to meet our debt obligations. Our cash reserves, which were critical during the winter storm when we were receiving just exorbitant invoices that were due on the same schedule that they're always due, then we were able to pay our bills and manage through that without any hiccups. Our cash reserves at the end of FY 2020 exceeded our target of 150 days. Our growth in electric customers continues to increase every year. Looking over the last 5 years, we had 6% growth. Greenville, until a few years ago, sat pretty flat for a long period of time. But this growth really took off and has just continued. And as you guys know who are working out there in the community, it's not slowing down. Our energy sales, we did have a pretty good increase in our wholesale sales. Our retail sales were pretty flat over the prior year. On the wholesale sales, there are a few things that play into that, but the major piece of that is our plant being available and our staff out there keeping those units operational and being able to keep them online when we need them. Our operating income increased significantly. And we already had cash reserves, so I had a duplicate slide in there. On the cable and internet side, we're continuing to see the trend of cable subscribers decline. That's actually following a national trend as more and more people are moving to streaming video. But here in Greenville, our decline on cable has been much slower than the national average. So those trends mimic, but it's dropping off much faster in the rest of the world. But our internet customers, we kind of rebounded there in 2020, and we're continuing to gain internet customers every month. So on our electric rates, those of you that have been here and been through a few of these probably recall we had some huge debt obligations associated with TMPA, our coal plant that we were part owners with down in Grimes County, Texas. And that really drove our rates for a good portion of the last 10 years. But in October of 2020, we were able to issue a rate decrease, and things look good going forward. There was another planned rate decrease that would have happened this October, but Winter Storm Uri had other plans for us. So looking at a comparison in September, comparing our new rate to our previous rate for 1,500 kWh, that would be a residential customer. You can see we moved that rate down significantly in comparison to where we were before. And this is actually comparing to some investor-owned utilities and some municipal utilities as well. On electric reliability, we continue to look really good compared to the national averages. As you can see there, I think there were a couple of, or actually one category where we were a little higher than the national average, and that was on the SAFE score, the number of customer interruptions. But this is measuring against customers within GEUS's customer size class across the nation. On safety, we did a great job in 2020. Safety is something that, we try to control to the best of our ability, and it's something that's extremely important in the business that we're in. Compared to 2019, there was a significant drop in operations. And operations is a broad category. We have the production department separated out. So this is, and we report those on the next slide. So this is all of engineering and operations, administration, customer service, cashiering, finance. It encompasses every other department except for production. And in the production department, there was only one accident. It was a vehicle accident due to a rock that was thrown by a mower. Like not someone mowing, the mower threw the rock. Right, Steve? So that takes us to workforce. This is something that we've been working on for several years. The first year we did this, 45% of our workforce was eligible to retire. And that's changed a little bit since then. We've had a few retirements, and as we have retirements and we have new employees come to work, it lowers that number, but then as you're moving towards it, you have more people who are coming up who are suddenly eligible to retire. So this year we're sitting at 34% of our workforce is eligible. And I was just visiting with the city manager yesterday, and it's interesting that the numbers are pretty close to the same on the city side. About 1/3 of the city's employees are eligible to retire as well. And this chart shows where those employees, which department those employees are in. So marketing should have a 1 on it. It's just, there's only 3 people in that department, so excuse my chart, but we do have 1 employee in marketing, 16 in engineering and operations, 5 in customer service. Production has 10. So you can see that the retirement eligibility is spread pretty much across the utility. So a few statistics on our workforce. We have 39 employees who are eligible to retire over the next 5 years. 6 employees retired during FY20. We had 14 new hires. And the age range of our workforce is 18 to 69 years old. I also remember the first time I did this presentation, it was about 18 to 72 years old, so that's come down a little bit. And we have 4 different generations in our workforce. Our average age is 41 years, and 8.41 is average years of service for all employees at GEUS. And in the management team, we've got 17 average years of service, and I skew that average way down because my service at GEUS is about 7 years now, 8 years. And we've got employees in that group that have quite a few more than me. So what are we doing to address that? So the major effort to address that workforce risk is all falls into our risk scoring system that we established. And so we look at retirement eligibility, specialized job knowledge, the impact of that position on customers' reliability or functionality of the system. And then we look at how do we reduce that risk, and that we do that through backup planning and succession planning. And I'll also say the only risk, we're not only trying to mitigate the risk of retirement here, we're trying to mitigate the risk if someone suddenly leaves GEUS, and trying to ensure that people are able to continue their jobs and the organization continues on to provide that level of service that we're committed to. And so this encompasses all of that. So we also identify what efforts are being made for succession planning. So is that person going to be an external hire? Does that position have a backup? Do we have a job manual or a training plan if it's appropriate? And so each year, all of that information on our key positions throughout the organization is fed in, and we calculate our risk score. So you can see here that our risk score went up by 1 point from the prior year. And that risk score, it's not necessarily a bad or good thing. It's just how have we changed and how are we managing that? When we did our compensation study, out of 117 positions, we had 72 unique jobs at the utility, 72. So many of those were jobs that are key to the organization, but only one person knew the job or could do the job. And that's not a good place to be, because when that person leaves, what kind of gap are the other employees going to have to step up and fill? And beyond that, how does that employee go on vacation? Does their job just stop? You know, if it's a critical job, that's not the way we need to be managing. So for FY20, you knew the world-class accomplishment would be COVID-19. It disrupted workforces across the nation. It disrupted people's lives. And I think that GEUS did an incredible job managing through that crisis. We continued customer service. We continued to do the work that needed to be done in the field and cable and internet. We continued to ensure our customers had uninterrupted service. We had a period where we had to be flexible. We couldn't go into customers' homes. There was a lot of unknowns, and our cable and internet guys are up close and personal with our customers inside their homes. So we couldn't add new customers to our system, but when there was a problem, we were there. You know, the things that I think contributed to that success was planning and then execution of that plan. How are we going to manage through these different situations? Flexibility, teamwork, customer communication. A big challenge during this event was getting communication out there to our customers. What's going on? How are things going to be managed? And I think our marketing team and our customer service team knocked it out of the park with customer communication. And technology played a huge role in it. 10 years ago, we would have severely struggled to continue to provide service to our customers, but because we were able to allow employees to work from home in situations where they could, it made the difference in being able to provide that continuity of service. And customer assistance, I've listed it there. I've talked about it a lot, but that's huge. I mean, we're a public organization, a community organization, and just saying, sorry, we can't do anything. We're just going to close everything and wait this out wasn't an option. So we were creative, and all of that minimized the impact for employees and customers. So thank you all for the part that you played in helping us get through that successfully. So system accomplishments, even though we were working through COVID-19, I mean, I think this all feeds into why I consider that to be world-class performance. Because despite all that, we still accomplished a lot. The LTV substation upgrade was completed. The Dent Road 69 kV tie was completed. That supplies another feed into our city. Prior to that, if one of our feeds was out for maintenance, we were on a single feed into the city of Greenville, which means we were in a situation where we had one shot for an incident to occur to take that other transmission line out, and the entire city of Greenville would have been in the dark. So that was critical to ensuring reliability. Completed all the protective relay testing of our under-frequency load shedding relays. Overhauled all the SCADA displays and upgraded our SCADA software. Repaired Steam 2 GSU. Installed a new remote terminal unit at Mamie Road Substation. Replaced 20 transmission and 99 distribution poles. Wow, y'all are busy. And that's in the heat, the cold, the rain, and on those nice spring days. Added 125 new poles and installed 137 new underground services, and installed or replaced 156 transformers. And that's slide one. It's amazing. Completed 500 meter test reports, executed 72 switching orders, including planned and emergency switching due to storm activity. Our report, I can probably do a whole slide on this for next year for winter storm. Upgraded the engine plant control system. Identified and resolved several issues to improve the reliability of the generating units. And I don't want to say too much because we're coming up on summer and we're about to hit another, run season. But last year's performance at our steam plant was exemplary. We were able to rely on that not only to offset costs, but also to help us supply the ERCOT grid. Completed our outage data conversion into e-reliability tracker from May 2015 through August 2020, and installed electric and C&I facilities to serve 400 new residential lots. I think that number will be bigger next year too, because there's been a lot more new homes built since 2020. Completed 2020 system contingency and loading study. Completed the backup control center design planning. We're working on building a backup control center out at our steam plant. So we have complete redundancy in our operations center. We completed an integrated resource plan development project that will be carried forward into long-term power supply planning, or a long-term power supply plan. Updated the 10-year financial and capital plan, and completed a 10-year cost of service and rate study. Automated our ERCOT real-time settlement point price program. Updated real-time market price program spreadsheets. Optimized our power portfolio performance for short-term and long-term savings goals. And consolidated the electric and cable and internet customer service personnel into one department. That is a request that I'd been hearing since 2015. You know, customers want to come, they want to meet with one person, they want to take care of their business and have all the services that we provide through one interaction. And so we've been able to make that happen, and it's been very successful. A lot of work. Continued to expand our P-card program. The beauty of that is we earn cash back. So like all the commercials you see, except we don't get to take vacations with the money. But it helps us be more cost effective in paying our vendors more timely, and we get the added benefit of earning that cash back. So we also developed and implemented a cybersecurity policy. If you have email, you've had fun participating in all that training and all those test emails, and it's important, it's critical that we maintain that security. It's scary to think of how many times a day we have foreign countries trying to hack in to the GEUS network. I mean, you would think that a utility our size wouldn't even be on their radar, but it is. Multiple times a day, multiple foreign countries. And that's not counting, you know, the kids that are just having fun trying to lock your system down. So we completed an internet equipment upgrade that will ultimately allow us to provide up to 1 gig internet speeds, and implemented new internet service tiers with increased speeds. And I've reported on this to the board, but it's just so interesting to me. So if cable and internet had approached me and said, Alicia, we need to offer 250 megabits, I would have said, you're crazy. Our lowest subscriber tier was our 100 megabit tier. Our 50 megabit tier was the most or 20 was the most popular. And all of a sudden, Spectrum offers 200, and customers start leaving us to go with a faster provider. So, and the interesting thing is that even on that 20 meg plan, a lot of customers weren't even using all that. So here we are. We found out real quick that we did need a higher speed service, and so we completely revamped that and rolled out a 250 meg service along with a 450 meg service. We're looking now to add a third package that'll be 750 meg. So we got in that game really quick, and we started seeing our internet numbers come right back up. And I'm excited to see what we look like by the end of the year, because we've added customers every month. Installed communications equipment for the smart meter project, or AMI, and added 2 redundant 10 gig internet backbone circuits. Resolved an issue that was causing a NOx exceedance on our unit Steam 3. Maintain compliance with NERC, ERCOT, Texas RE, and TCEQ. And That's going to continue to be a challenge as we move forward because several of the bills that have been passed by the legislature this year is going to ultimately flow down to ERCOT and Texas RE, and we're going to have an increased burden in reporting and compliance associated with those new laws that have passed, even though we did everything right. So we completed the process for environmental no exposure certification and all SPCC programs, implemented compliance policies and procedures for new PUC requirements. So prior to Winter Storm Uri, we had already, for the first time, had to begin reporting to and complying with some of the PUC regulations related to power line safety and training. So workforce planning and training, we implemented a new employee evaluation system. 2 of our operators successfully passed the NERC exam and became TO certified, NERC certified, completed our Black Start and system operator training, developed training plans for all of the customer service staff, implemented cross-training between electric and the customer or cable and internet customer service employees, implemented first contact resolution measures for customer service. When customers come in and they need help, they want to come in one time, work with someone, get that problem fixed, and move on with their life. When they have to come back 2 times or 3 times, it creates a lot of anxiety and a lot of frustration. So we're working very well on that. Developed and completed cybersecurity training for all employees and GEUS board members. So no one's exempt. If you have a GEUS email, you have to do cybersecurity training. We were also active in local organizations, and there's the list: Kiwanis Rotary Lions Club, GISD, Hunt County Regional Hospital, Greenville Chamber of Commerce, and that's probably not all of them. And our community-powered employee engagement, we had 131 volunteer hours. We had 99 employees participate in 12 local events. And so we're having an event tonight, so if you have no plans this evening, come on out to the sports park. We can always use extra help. This will be a benefit for the Boys and Girls Club here in Greenville. These events are a lot of fun. When you come out, you get to meet people and hang out with people from other departments across the utility and show our support for the community, because that's why we're here. We are here to serve the community. Economic development, we provided funding at $547,000 to GBOD and provided $183,806 in an economic incentive to International Grains. That's an agreement that was signed several years ago, back I believe in 2013, when they came to Greenville, and was one of the deciding factors of them coming to Greenville. But they had to prove themselves before we would issue that incentive. So they did, and they're a success here in Greenville and providing jobs and providing support to the local community. So we were happy to be a part of that. We participated in all scheduled Board of Development meetings, provided electric rate estimates to 2 potential new businesses. That number was down significantly due to COVID. We recently provided 8 rate estimates in a single month. So business has definitely picked up. Supported new industrial customer in their connection and configuration. That's Sabert out on 1570, another large new business that chose Greenville. And we're excited to have them in our footprint. And then we're also serving on the Comprehensive Plan Steering Committee for Greenville, the city of Greenville. So utility leadership at the local, state, and national levels, we supported A&M Commerce in their Industry Advisory Board for engineering, actively participated in ERCOT working group meetings, and you can see those run a pretty good gamut, wholesale market, system stability, security response, outage coordination. I was elected to serve as president-elect of the TPPA Executive Board. Also re-elected to chair of TMPA Planning and Operations. I'm treasurer of the Greenville Chamber of Commerce Board of Directors, and then also actively participate in the APPA CEO roundtables. So we are doing our part to speak up and be part of the conversations in shaping the future for public power, and also supporting and defending what we do here for our community. And we received several awards in FY20. The Government Finance Officers Distinguished Budget Presentation Award. Very nice plaque we have hanging up in the administration building. We're trying to get one for the customer service building. So customers coming in can see that we've been recognized for that. Certificate of Excellence and Reliability, we just received our third. So that's great. Broadband Now Service Provider Awards, they recognize GEUS as being the fastest provider and the most affordable, in the top 3 of the most affordable residential providers. Submitted our second Safety Awards of Excellence to APPA. You have to submit 3 years in a row in order to qualify for that. So we're still working on that one. So our goal for GEUS, and I know you know it, if you've read anything I've written, world class. I think we have an amazing team, and you've proven time and time again that we can do it. We've done it. Every year we're facing a new crisis. I hope it's over, but if it's not, I know this, we've got a team that can handle it. So how are we going to get there? We continue to attract, develop, retain, and reward our high-performing employees. Acquire and leverage tools and technology to improve processes. And you'll see on one of the following slides on future planning, that's exactly what we're working to do. Active involvement shaping industry regulations and legislation. It's just unbelievable, some of the changes that are proposed. I mean, when it's attractive now for investor-owned utilities to look at Greenville, Texas, because we have a population of about 30,000 people. And, you know, there are things proposed in the legislature by people who just aren't familiar with what we do, the value we bring, and it's constant work to try to educate them and help them understand why we're here, what we do, and why it's critical to maintain this for our community. Manage performance improvement, establish performance metrics, enhance financial performance to provide competitive rates, maintain high system reliability, and stay future focused. A lot of the decisions we make and the work we do today affects this utility and this community for many, many years into the future. You know, I think about the LTV substation upgrade project. That's a project, you know, where the equipment that was installed, the system that was installed there, will serve this community for the next 40 to 50 years. So we make a lot of decisions, our generating plant, you know, continuing to invest in those units, but the decision to build those units was made back in the 60s and the 70s. We're still using that equipment today. So that's the responsibility that we carry. And the legacy that we leave behind for the future. How are we perceived in the community? What have we done to make this a strong organization that's going to last for the next 130 years? It could happen. So our future projects and initiatives are to continue to manage system expansion and growth. We've got to look at how we do things as we continue to grow. And these houses are being added. You know, I think the largest one so far has been, I believe, a little over 500 homes. Is that right, Mark, or 800? Delano out there on 380. But how many? 500 to 600. And, you know, in the scheme of things, and when you look at what's happened in Caddo Mills and Roy City, I mean, 800 homes, 1,800 homes at one point in a single development. And that pace continues to grow. And as more businesses locate here in Greenville, it becomes even more attractive. So I believe over the next 5 to 10 years, Greenville will be a completely different city. We have to evolve. We have to continue to upgrade and replace aging infrastructure. One of the projects that we've identified is our cable and internet system, which is now, you know, 20 years old. Parts of it are even older than that because they were part of the original system that served our substation communication. So the core of our system is even older than that. And, you know, like that LTV transformer, 54 years old. We have a lot of aging infrastructure on our system, and we have to continue to look at how do we manage that while we manage the growth in our community. We're still working to implement our smart metering system, and we're getting there. We're making progress. We expect meters to be deployed and completely changed out by the end of this year. Promote and expand our internet services. Those are services that really bring value to the community. Develop our long-term power supply plan. You know, we're no longer part of Gibbons Creek. That was a big part of our energy portfolio. We have wind now, we have solar. Solar and wind are not coal. They're not steam generation. They're not controllable sources of generation. And so we have a lot of variability that replaced a product that was stable and controllable. That's now missing. And so we have covered that with power purchase agreements for the last several years, but we're working on a long-term plan to determine when and how we want to change. Do we need more generation out at our generating plant? You know, I look now and say I wish that when they installed the 3 quick starts at the plant that they would have installed about 12 of them. But here we are. So we're working on that. We're working to implement an outage management system, which will revolutionize how we manage outages. And, you know, day to day, we do a great job, and I think we have a process that works. But whenever there is a large disruption, a large outage, it's difficult. And, you know, I joke that our outage management system is sitting right here. It's all of you. Because, you know, we've basically got to set up a war room and start pulling people in and working out a process flow. And this outage management system is going to make our lives much easier. It's going to be hard to get it implemented. But once we get past that, it's going to be an amazing tool for us for years to come. Interactive voice recognition. So we're a little bit behind the curve here, you know. Depending on where customers are coming from, a lot of them are used to being able to pull up an outage map, see where the outages are. They're also accustomed to calling in and a system saying, we have a major outage in your area. You know, estimated time to restore is 4 hours or 2 hours. And so we've struggled a lot during major events with customers being able to get through our phone system and talk to someone. And so this right here will be another tool that we can use. We still have to communicate. and we'll still have to interact with that and update that as events occur. But it does provide us another major tool in being able to serve customers, because when the lights are out, they just want to tell someone. They want you to know their lights are out. And right now we rely on that. At the house level, we rely on that. We need you to call and tell us your lights are out, because we probably don't know, unless it's at a feeder level, right? So the other system that we're implementing is GIS. We had somewhat of a GIS program, but that's a program that's going to tie into all of the other things, all of the other software that we're implementing, and that is going to serve as the foundation for that. And so those are programs, those are all ways we're going to try to leverage technology to do our jobs more efficiently and even better. So just want to say thank you, and our Board of Trustees is continually providing feedback to me on what a great job that you do. So that's a genuine thank you from me and from all the management staff and from the board on the job that you do every day. So now we will move on to our community powered update, and Kami's going to provide that for us. And then after her update, we'll move on to employee service awards and recognition.
Trouble.
I'm going to go over here and get a drink.
All right, so I want to start by saying that the GEUS Community Powered Program is not my program. It's not marketing's program. It's y'all's program. This program wouldn't be possible without your help and your participation. So to start off with, I want to recognize those that have participated from the beginning, or you've signed up for the very first time to participate tonight. If you've participated in any of these programs, would you stand up and be recognized, please? Come on, guys. Yes, thank you. We really couldn't do it without you, and we appreciate your help. This program allows us to really exemplify what Alicia was talking about whenever it comes to public power and what that is in our community. To be able to explain to our customers that we're community owned and we're not for profit, those are just words to them, but whenever they can see us in the community and they can put a face and a name to GEUS, then they feel more connected to us, and they're more willing to understand what public power means and that we truly are here to serve them. So this program started in 2018, and Alicia's help and involvement in this program has been vital to its success. And I'm not just saying that because she's standing here and our general manager, but she has encouraged this program and helped to find ways that we could grow it. But more than that, she has allowed each of us to participate in it, and we can do that during business hours. So a lot of the opportunities that we have to serve in the community happen on the clock, and you get an opportunity to sign up and participate in that without having to take personal time off or worry about missing what's going on in the office. You can take part in that. We have attended over 30 events since 2018, totaling 597 hours of volunteer work, and 281 people participated in that. That's, of course, more people than what we have employed, but that's how many people were involved in each of those activities. And it's just a good way. You can see over there on the side how that's varied from year to year, and the last couple of years have not been as many events because of COVID, but we're looking forward to growing that and expanding that. A lot of these events come from sponsorships that we do in the community or community activities. The one one tonight is one that we are sponsoring. But again, this is an opportunity for GEUS not to be a monetary contributor to events happening in our community, but an opportunity for us to give of our time and our talents as well. If you guys have ideas or know about events that are happening or things that we can do to be involved in different ways, reach out to me. I'd love to talk to you about it and find ways that we can grow that program together. So some of the things that we've participated in over the years, I've got some pictures here. And this one is the Community Fall Festival that happens at the sports park. We've gone out and had a bounce house out there, and employees have showed up to interact with those families and those communities. That happens around Halloween, and the kids come dressed up, and it's really fun to be together and do that. Sorting food for fish. So most of you know that on the side of our building and behind our building, we have Fish Ministries, who is a local food pantry, and twice a year they have a huge food sorting event that they do for Thanksgiving and Christmas. And employees have dedicated an entire day. It starts early in the morning with the linemen coming out and setting all of this production up and getting those pallets of food out and getting ready to put food in bags so that that can go into people's homes. The Christmas parade, we haven't got to do that in a couple of years, and that's something that hopefully we'll get to have again this year. But that's fun to work with the linemen to build those floats and then have everybody come out and ride on it. Bring your kids, bring your grandkids. It's fun. Blood drives. These are some older pictures. I think DC took all of these. But participating in a blood drive, that's really the easiest event that I get to schedule. So they show up and do all the work, and you guys help out with that. So if you're interested in giving blood, we do that several times a year. Greenville Christian School is a local school here in town that is a private school, and they have fundraisers as well. They have an annual auction and a dinner, so we sponsor that. Employees get to go and have a meal and visit with those families. Alicia mentioned our partnership with Texas A&M University and the Electrical Engineering Day, and you can see I pointed an arrow over there because there's a lot of engineers that participate in that, and GEUS is just a portion of that. Greenville Education Enrichment Foundation, they have a spelling bee, an adult spelling bee, and we have an outstanding team of spellers, and then we have some cheerleaders that go. And it's a good time. They prepare for that, and David Jones is serious whenever it comes to participating in that event. So if you don't study, then it's going to be on you, right, parents?
We turned their lights off last year.
Make sure they knew we were there. Career days. Gosh, I've missed those this year. That's an opportunity for us to go out. Wesley United Methodist Church has a career day. The school district, Highland Terrace, all of them have had it. And those kids love to come out and see the bucket truck. And what I like about these pictures, and the reason why I chose these pictures, is because it really shows you why it is that we do it. So if you don't know, in the lower left-hand corner for you, that's lineman Gary Rudder, and that's his wife. He's here. That's his wife, who is a teacher. She's not the Greenville School District anymore, but in the middle, that's a lineman with an employee's son. So that's Trey's son. And this over on the right-hand corner is a friend of mine's daughter. So our families, our friends, and our neighbors are part of this community with us. And these pictures really explain that. They know that we're there, and they enjoy having us participate in these. So these events are fun as well. Drug-Free Greenville has several events during the year. The Kite Fly program is one where the students at the middle school create a kite, and then employees get to go out and fly that kite with them. And it's an opportunity to talk about being drug-free and showing those kids what it is that you've done and how successful that student. We participated in job fairs for Greenville High School and gone out and showed those kids, if you want to work at GEUS, you can work at GEUS, and here are the career paths that you take to do that, whether that involves just going straight into the workforce or going and getting a degree. This last year, we were able to participate in CASA for Hunt County. We had a team from the power plant also, and I didn't end up with a picture from that one, but that one was good. Amongst all the crazy, we were still able to go and participate in that event, and it was the first time that they held that event this year. Drug-Free Greenville, again, the Crack Kills program, again, alignment with his daughter when she was in middle school. That one's a couple of years old, right, Mason? This is a program where the kids in a science classroom put together a device that holds an egg, a raw egg, and we drop it from the top of that bucket truck, and they're graded on whether or not that egg breaks at the bottom. And then there's a discussion about, this is some of you, I don't know, I may be giving my age away here. So the video where this is your brain on drugs, drug-free. Okay, some of you are looking at me crazy, and I know it's not older than all of y'all. So anyway, it's a good program to talk about drugs as well. Tools for School, this is one where the community donates money and school supplies, and we go and we fill backpacks, and then those are given to kids in the community. And I've said it on every one of them. It's fun, but it is. I have a challenge that Alicia has given us, and for this budget year, a project that we want to complete before the end of October, or I guess before the end of September. So my plea to you is, because I don't have details on this yet, but if you enjoy home improvement, if you enjoy or have a skill set in energy efficiency, I don't even know really how to describe it completely yet because it's still evolving, but essentially we want to help at least one family in our community with some home improvement type things that will reinforce energy efficiency, and there'll be some other components to that as well. So be looking for an email to sign up on that, but if you specifically have some skills or some knowledge in that area, then you guys reach out to me and let me know, because I don't always know what you guys are capable of doing, so I don't know how far we can take this, but we've been challenged to do it big, so if you don't reach out to me, I'll be reaching out to you.
Thank you, Kami. She does a great job coordinating all that. Oh my goodness. But it's always a good time. And it shows us, it definitely shows our involvement in the community. And Kami's got our bright green shirt, so you really stand out. This project that Kami's referring to that's coming up fairly quickly is related to a few homes that have very high winter usage in our customer base. These are homes that are not well insulated, that older homes, and we've identified 3 customers, but our goal is to help one at this point, and if it goes well, maybe we'll help a couple more. But you know, it's a project that can really make a difference in somebody's life, where their home is inefficient and all the heat's going out through the cracks and the windows. We're going to look to try to partner with some other organizations in the community. So I don't know how far it'll go. We'll see. But at a minimum, caulking windows, helping weather strip, getting insulation hopefully installed. Hopefully we won't be doing that, but I can do it. But very excited about that project. In part of our rate study, what we identified was that GEUS had a winter electric rate that was designed many years ago to incentivize people to install electric heat versus gas heat. And it was pretty archaic because today not many new homes are even built with gas as an option. And So we were rewarding electric usage in the wintertime, but our costs were really being made up in the summertime. Well, we're a summer peaking system, and so that makes your summer bills much higher. So the change we made to that winter rate is phasing that out over time. Well, these members of the community who are heating with space heaters and have poorly insulated homes are really going to be impacted by that. And so we looked at our highest usage customers for the wintertime on the residential side, and that's how we came to, how can we tie this in with community powered and help reduce that burden on that family. So I'm excited about it. I'm a home improvement person, so I'm on the volunteer list. Put me on there. I'll do whatever. Don't mind getting dirty. And I hope to see you guys out helping support that project, because it really will make a difference in that family's life. All right, moving on to the 2020 Service Awards. Our presentation and the data presented was fiscal year 2020, but our Employee Service Awards and recognition is on a calendar year basis. So I just wanted to point that out, because if you've had a service anniversary since December, your name's not going to be on this list yet. It'll be on our presentation next year. So we'll kick this off. And our 5-year group, I look at these faces and oh my goodness, it's hard to believe that some of these employees are now 5 years at GEUS. So we will start at the very top. So Miss Felicia Condry, are you here?
This afternoon.
This afternoon. Okay, Dane Gallagher, not here. Micah Harris, I have not seen him. Cruzita Navarrete. See, I don't like this microphone. Oh, I probably broke it. Oh, I did, didn't it? Okay.
Oh, this way. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Thank you, ladies. Thank you.
Thank you. Jose Torres. Have not seen Jose. Oops. Nathan Warren, I saw him. Congratulations. And NERC certified. I mean.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
She tells everybody that. Congratulations. Alicia Martin. She is not here this morning. Okay. Moving on to our 10-year. None of them are here? Oh, Gary is. There you are. You're the only one, though, I think, right? Yeah, Jason's not here and Manny's not here, so come on up. We got to get you a good nickname.
I've got several, but you don't want to hear any of those.
You've been answering the phone back for me, so. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Congratulations.
Congratulations. Thank you. All right, receiving their 20-year awards. I've not seen Joe Bob this morning. Shank is not here. And Chris Strawn, he's here. Been troublemaker for 20 years. Congratulations. Yeah, Gina. What are you going to do with that?
It's a big waffle. Can I open it?
No, it's okay.
Huh?
It's okay.
It's very nice.
Oh, it is?
Mhm.
Okay. What I do with it?
You hang it on the wall.
Yeah, I bet.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
4, 5, 6.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Do I need this? Okay, so for our 25 years, we have Charles Scott, and I have not seen him here this morning. And our longest tenured employee, Steve Glasscock, 35 years. And he gets a whole power plant, his very own, because you hadn't had enough of it yet.
That's right.
2, 3. 1, 2.
Congratulations. Yeah, he's on my high risk list. All right. Well, congratulations to all of our employees who received a service award this year, and those that'll get one this afternoon, that'll pick them up this afternoon. It's a great place to work, and I think our long tenure shows that. So our Employee of the Year, we're going to wrap up with our Employee of the Year, and this is my favorite part because we get to recognize those employees who've really gone above and beyond and who are recognized by the others in their department. So we'll get started on that, our nominees this year. And as I announce each nominee, if I could get you to come up and stand up front, I would appreciate that. So our first nominee is someone you can count on, has high quality craftsmanship, does the job right, goes above and beyond what is expected, always receives positive feedback from customers, and is valued and respected by their co-workers. Cody Myers. And I don't think Cody's here this morning. Our second nominee provides world-class service to employees and customers, leads by example, goes above and beyond, shows extreme commitment to customers, and is a dedicated employee. Mia Stoker. So our next nominee makes customers feel appreciated, welcome, and safe. She has a great attitude, goes above and beyond to help others, communicates well with the team, and provides world-class customer service. Sharon Garcia. Our next nominee works well with coworkers, responsible, and always has a positive attitude, works hard to do his best for GEUS and its customers, and goes above and beyond. DC. And he's not here this morning. This next nominee is a valuable member of the team, shares skills and knowledge with other departments, is a pleasure to work with, continually develops creative content for GEUS services, and shines bright in the community representing GEUS. Chris Mangwell. Our next nominee makes a huge impact on the team's success, ensures team has the tools needed to succeed, takes pride in their work, and puts in 100% effort. Self-motivated and hardworking, has a strong work ethic and leadership, and those are examples for others to follow. Jesse Gatlin. Now, before I go to the next slide, I just want to say something to each of you. There are a lot of people in this room that go above and beyond, and they do a great job. Every day, I hear things all the time, but I've also heard many good things about this group right here. Mia, world class. Sharon, your work through COVID, actually going out to help translate for customers when they were struggling to understand what they needed to do to manage their bills, and you taking that extra effort and going out there to help those customers, world class. Chris, I hear nothing but good things about you in the community. Everyone, when I say GEUS, who's the guy, the tall guy? I mean, everybody loves him. Works every day to build a positive image for us in the community. And Jesse, from day one, how do we make things better? Building a work order system for the plant that we couldn't afford to buy. Those systems cost hundreds of thousands of dollars. Took it on yourself, took the time, and made things better. All of you, world class, and I appreciate it. Yeah. We have to do pictures. So I'll get in the middle. How about that?
Then I don't feel so sure. Sideways?
Yeah, we can do that. Glover, will you come up and take a picture real quick? And Mia has her community powered shirt on.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. And we do have certificates that we will be handing out.
Yes.
We don't have those with us, right? But we will get those to you, okay? Thank you. So with all that fabulousness, we had to select one Employee of the Year. And so the 2020 Employee of the Year for GEUS is Mia Stoker. You gotta come back up. So 2 stories I want to tell about Mia. The first one is, and this I don't believe happened in 2020, but Miss Mia, we had a businessman here in Greenville that came to customer service, came up to cashiering, and was trying to give money away to our employees. And they declined it, as they should have. But after he left, one of our customers came in who was having a hard time and couldn't pay her bill. Mia called him back and said, hey, we couldn't take the money, but if you want to help one of our customers, there's a lady here that could use the help. And he came back up and paid that customer's bill. She didn't have to do that. She didn't have to do that. Unbelievable. Made a difference in somebody's life, and that's something people remember. That's something people tell other people. That's what we're here to do. Mia, recently, during COVID, very appropriate, had a customer that called her that needed to pay her bill but couldn't make it up because she'd been sick. And Mia went to the customer's house and took her payment, took it back, and made that payment. So she further decided that customer needed more help. So she actually took food to her so that she had that extra help during that time. That's world class. That is above and beyond. And I feel 100% that Mia deserves this and deserves a whole lot more. She is truly one of our stars. Thank you, Mia. And I probably got all the details wrong, but.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm so shocked.
I'm gonna put a bow on it.
And with that, we'll conclude our 2020 State of GEUS. Thank you all for everything you've already done and everything you continue to do to make us the best we can be.